2002. Holy cow. Shit. Jimmy Neutron, Boy Genius versus Jimmy Megatron. Yeah, I know it's not Megatron, but we're gonna just roll with it. It'll be funny, I swear. I played this game so much growing up. This game was one of the reasons that I liked PS1 era graphics. It just looks super goofy, and I kind of love it. But I get it. Not a lot of people like that stuff, but I think it is just extremely charming. Another thing that this game just came out the wazoo with was the soundtrack. I'm not gonna lie, I was listening to it when I was doing some of the research on this video, and I was kind of laughing the whole time. It was a funny little jig. Anyway, we'll move right into the game. The underwater level was kind of hard to control that submarine. If I'm being honest, I definitely was not as good as probably anybody else playing that game because I was not a good submarine pilot. But that's okay. The cutscenes are great. I mean, they're fantastic. And the reason why I say they're fantastic is because they're even if it's not supposed to be funny, because the game is so old and janky, it looks incredibly funny. So every time it's like a serious moment, I'm just giggling my ass off in the corner. Anyway, the best cutscene is probably when the robot starts doing a spinny move and then he teleports away. It's very funny. The next level would have been the Libby Matrix level, where you basically just on a boat in a computer with all like the code and shit underneath you, and you're riding on like a river full of code. It was cool. You gotta go and save your friend, so you gotta push through the bullshit sometimes. Cause I remember getting caught in corners. It was bad. But anyway, I think that's just because the controls were a bit rough, especially when it's not you as Jimmy. You know, he's got his own control problems, but for the most part, the vehicles were tough to use. I won't lie, but they were very fun. The sound effects were amazing. I mean, as always with those old games, they're just funny and goofy. I know I'm using that word a lot, but that's how I gotta describe it. It's just goofy. Next you had the chase, which you had to chase Jimmy Megatron all the way through time basically, and you start out in Halloween, and then you go to Christmas, and then finally 4th of July. It was very annoying. You basically just had to boop him, and then he had a force field, and you had to boop him a couple times, and then you would go to the next area. It could have been better, but I still remember having a blast, and that's all that matters, right? The scooter though, the scooter was tough. I'm not meaning like tough as in oh that's dope. I mean I could never control the scooter right. I is what you call shitty at driving. I also love the mouth movements. The mouth movements in this game are the real cherry on top. It's just so funny looking, to be honest. And even when I went to go look up some clips, that shit's hilarious looking. I loved it. Ladder noise as well. The ladder noise, A tier noise or sound effect. Love the robot. His name was God. I'm blanking on it. The Herminator. There we go. Herminator. Love that guy. The pyramid scheme level. It could have been better, but I'm really bad at obstacle courses and jumping and shit like that, so I used to get knocked off all the time. The big thing though is Goddard the dog could have solved like 90% of our like jumping puzzles, which is infuriating when he's just barking at you from the other side like, you piece of shit, you could be helping me right now. I know you're able. But anyway, the best part of the game is when Carl becomes a Category A acrid or a kaiju, and you just shoving food into the giant Carl until he's incapacitated is hilarious. Insert fat joke. The flying was kind of fun as a kid, and when you break, it would shoot out a parachute, and it would just be in the back of your little rocket ship for you to slow down. I thought that was a cool touch. Carl's voice is hilarious when he's large. He just has a deep voice with an echo, and it's very humorous. One of the final levels, the Black Flurp Factory, was a pretty cool level. But besides, the shooting of the Black Flurp with your water gun was so hard. I mean, I remember very vividly, I was bad at it. I was very bad. It was like one of those carnival games when you're trying to like shoot the bad guy with the gun, and then they flop down and they flop back up. It's kind of like that. Only I sucked at it. I had that's it. There's no redeeming me. I was just bad. At the end, you trap the bad guy. You trap Jimmy Megatron, and you have to go fight some dinos, some dino bits. And also, one last thing. The Geiger counter noise for when you collected some of the currency at first was hilarious, but by the end of it was driving me bonkers. But anyway, everything is just a big ass Terminator reference is what I'm getting at. How did this happen? That robot I was talking about earlier, Mr. Herminator, he's been making Terminator jokes the whole time. And the last line in the entire game is, "Hasta la vista, Jimmy." I think. Anyway, hope you liked the video.